In a colossal upset, Petr Yan wins a unanimous decision over Merab Dvalishvili, 49-46, 49-46, 48-47 to regain the UFC Bantamweight title. His striking was on point. His takedown defense was on point. His cardio was on point. His offensive wrestling was on point. Incredible performance as a huge underdog to beat the Goliath in the division in Merab and regain the Bantamweight title in what's going to go down as one of the biggest upsets of the year. Incredible performance by Yan. In the co-main event, Pantoja threw a high kick, Van caught it, and Pantoja was off balance and fell to the ground. He broke his arm as he posted it on the mat, and the fight was over in just 26 seconds. Joshua Van becomes the new flyweight champion as a result, the second youngest champion in the history of the UFC. Asura Tyra gets the second round TKO stoppage over Brennan Moreno. Moreno protested the stoppage, but it goes down as a second round TKO. Tyra, big win for him. Number 5 going into the fight, and Moreno was number 2. Peyton Talbot actually took down Henry Cejudo 2 times in round 1. He almost knocked him out in round 2, and he also took round 3 en route to a unanimous decision victory. Talbot looked amazing and will break into the rankings and maybe top 10 on Tuesday. Cejudo retires after the fight. Blachowicz versus Guskov ends up as a split draw because one judge had a 10-8 round for Guskov. Manuel Torres knocks out Grant Dawson in the first round, 16 finishes in the first round. He's definitely a huge problem in the lightweight division, and he will be in the rankings on Tuesday. Chris Duncan survived the early onslaught from Terrence McKinney, came back to get the choke victory midway through the first round. Macy Barber wins the unanimous decision over Karine Silva. She has the second most wins in the UFC flyweight history with 9. Fares Yem looked good in the first round and second round against Sadahov, and at the end of the second round, right at the buzzer, he was able to score the knockout. Bruno Ferreira wins a unanimous decision over Marvin Vettori. Jalen Turner had a successful return to the octagon, stopping Edson Barboza midway through the first round with strikes. Baranowski and Aslan had a crazy fight that was not even a minute and a half long. It looked like Aslan was going to get the KO early, and then all of a sudden things turned around, and it looked like Baranowski was going to get the knockout. Then all of a sudden another turnaround happened. It looked like Aslan was going to get the KO, and then he got dropped, and then he got knocked out 128 into the fight. Mansour Abdul Malik was a minus 1450 favorite, huge favorite, but he looked like one. Got a takedown within the first 30 seconds. On Triccoli tried to work his way back up to the feet and get a takedown of his own, got caught in a guillotine, and then got tapped out just a minute and 7 seconds into the fight. Mansour Abdul Malik remains undefeated. Sean Strickland is a friend and teammate of Mansour. He wanted to watch him fight, but the UFC boss has personally called me to tell me to F myself. I'm suspended and can't come. In round 3, Myron Santos gets the knockout victory over Muhammad Naimov.
Was what I was looking for a finish. My last 2 fights, decisions, that's not how I want to be recognized in UFC, so I'm very happy.
A lot of people don't like showing up to the early prelims in Vegas, it seems. There's nobody there for UFC 323, first fight of the night on the early prelims. You know Theo Von's going to be there, though. 2 big lightweight fights have been added to UFC 325. Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Huge opportunity for Benoit Saint-Denis to progress up the rankings. And also Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy, also in the lightweight division. Both added to the main card January 31st, UFC 325 in Sydney, Australia. Also a big middleweight fight has been announced. The main event of UFC Fight Night Houston, February 21st, is going to be Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division, number 3 and 4 in the middleweight division. Robles de Spain becomes a new karate combat heavyweight champion by knocking out Sam Alvey in round 2. Some people think the ref did Alvey dirty. Basically TKO'd once, TKO'd twice, and then knocked out very badly with a head kick.
Guys, God is good. The highest highs, the lowest lows. For those of you that don't compete like I do, you should know that there are few feelings in this world as bad as not getting your hand raised. But I know God has got my back. I know whatever hardship is coming, God has got my back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. I truly love you. The good Lord has got plans for me. He's got plans for you. Don't forget it. I love you guys. I love you, God. Thank you.
All the casual fans, listen up. Promotions do not hire judges. They do not hire referees. The State Athletic Commission hires referees and judges to avoid bias. And this is very important for you guys to understand. This avoids corruption in fights. Now, the ref that refed the fight with Robelis and Sam Alvey last night, I got to tell you something. All the fans are really upset about him allowing the fight to continue. In my opinion, the fight should have continued, so I can agree with the fans. But that referee is one of the greatest refs I've ever worked with. I mean, I've done events around the world. I don't even know how many countries at this point. I've gone around the world. One of my favorite referees is that gentleman. Now, It's a discretionary thing. He felt the fight should continue. It's a world championship fight, 2 veterans. I think it should have been stopped. But I actually looked to the corner. I just looked at the corner like, hey, first knockdown, you guys throwing in the towel? What's happening? But they were confident. They know Sam wants to go out on his shield. The corner decided to let it continue, and that's what happened.
The referee is taking way too much trash. Before the fight night ever started, the referee came up and introduced himself to us, and I told him, I said, listen, this is a title fight. I'm aware I can take a butt kick, and please let my butt get kicked if it's going to happen. Don't stop. And he didn't. He let me get finished. He let me go out on my shield, and I am proud of him. It is how I think all referees should ref. And if you look, I blocked his kick, which means I read the kick was coming, I got my hands up, and I blocked it. It just also means he kicked through it. Oh boy, it was a big dude. He kicked me round one in the leg, and it kicked my leg out from under me. I wasn't expecting that much pressure to hit. And it hit, and it was just shunning of how much power. Please, lay off the ref. I think that's how all refs should ref. But he was doing it specifically because I said, let me, fight to the finish.
All that being said, the rules are the rules. The referee can't customize rules for certain fighters. If one fighter says, just let me die in there, you can't let that happen. This isn't a referee-assisted suicide. It's a sport with rules. Referees are there to protect fighters from their opponents, but also themselves. Some fighters are willing to just go out on their shield, so to speak, even willing to die in there, but the refs can't let that happen. As a fighter, that is exactly how we want to go out, but as a ref, it's his job to protect us, and I feel he didn't do his job as well as he should have. With all due respect, it doesn't really matter what you tell the ref. They're there to protect you from yourself, from you making those decisions. Much love, though. You're truly a huge inspiration and a model of a man to look up to. Sean O'Malley with the mask. O'Malley grabbing a COVID mask is a throwback to the only stretch of his career when people liked him. Usman Nurmagomedov with Chanko. Usman Nurmagomedov likes to joke around. He captioned that picture. Negotiations with the perpetrator of New York lawlessness. Talking about Chanko and friends jumping Dylan Dennis at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The mayor says he's going to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Different angle of Khamzat Chimaev's encounter with Ian Gary. It's the slaps on the back of Ian Gary that causes Khamzat to be pissed off. So he slaps him on the back a couple more times. I don't know if Gary's doing this in a passive-aggressive way to covertly piss off Khamzat. If not, he should read the room a little bit better. They're not friends. Gary talked about fighting him in an elevator before. And also Khamzat needs to control himself a little bit. He needs to chill out a little bit. He got the 2 slaps on the back. He doesn't need to push him again. So Gary's got to be less passive-aggressive if he's being passive-aggressive, or just read the room better, and Khamzat just needs a little self-control.
Yeah, I mean, you see the way that he's going to do a quick photo with our partner.
Are you ready? Always. Good job, team. Good job tonight.
UFC announces that Paramount Plus will also be the home of Dana White's Contender Series and The Ultimate Fighter, in addition to all the numbered events and fight nights. UFC middleweight / welterweight Kevin Holland says H-Town, February. The UFC returns to Houston, Texas in February at the Toyota Center on February 21st. Paddy Pimblett had some things to say about Arman Tsarukyan, so Tsarukyan fired back. I could talk about how you only fight senior citizens once a year, or how the UFC keeps giving you the easy road to that paper belt. But I'll say one thing, if you ever find the courage to step in the octagon with me, there's only one outcome that you fear the most, where everyone finally sees you're a fraud. A lot of people thought that Arman deserved to be in that interim title fight with Justin Gaethje, considering he is ranked #1 in the division.
Give him his title shot, huh? Give him his title shot, I said. Dana, this guy deserves. You know he deserves.
Before I overtrade.
Malal Kopp opens as a -300 favorite against Brandon Royval December 13th at the UFC Apex. Some think there's some value here on Royval. He throws with a lot of volume. Obviously a really good fighter, being a former UFC title challenger. But Kopp is a heavier hitter. But the judges may be forced to determine who won the round based on one guy throwing more, but the other guy throwing less, but with more force, and they're forced into a quandary. Who did more damage?